Because a lot of people are scared to get help. So just like, I think it'd be cool, they come out of rehab. I even started a nonprofit called Addicts with Voice.
This is gonna hurt. It's time for the Suffering Podcast.
That's crazy.
I think I like you said, unethical.
I don't. So some of these celebrities, they bring it on themselves.
Yeah.
But then there's some of them.
I don't see it much. It's like once a year I get a text.
Yeah, but some of the celebrities, well, they bring it on themselves by their fame. Like Kim Kardashian, let's be very honest.
Yeah.
She's famous because she went down on, what was it, Ray J? I mean, that's the whole reason she's famous. She's not famous because her father was OJ's lawyer.
Yeah.
She's famous because she was in a porn. Paris Hilton, famous. She's not famous for Hilton hotels.
Yeah.
But again, all these people like that, they're glory mongers. They want their picture to be out there.
Correct.
Yeah.
They probably get the bad picture and they'll go in the media and say, I can't believe this photographer took a picture of him. But their stock just went up 1,000% because
a lot of that came from the Pamela and Tommy Lee.
Yep, video.
I remember that, yeah.
Absolutely.
And then you saw
it was on the boat, right?
Yeah. And that was stolen.
From what I heard, it was on a boat.
My mom asked me like a month
video
ago.
in it.
It's like a month ago. We're in the car. My niece and nephew, they're trying to pick out a movie to watch. When we got back to my parents, I looked at my mom and I go, "What about Debbie Does Dallas?" My mom about drove the car off the road. I've never seen her laugh so hard, but I'm glad she caught the humor.
So let's step back in time for a moment.
Yeah.
You go away to rehab. Your parents, who sound like really wonderful people.
They supported me the whole way.
Yeah, well, like what was that conversation like when you say, "Hey, listen, I got to go take care of this issue I got"?
My dad's like, "Fuck it, find a rehab."
Man, you lucky son of a bitch.
Yeah, no kidding.
That's all I got to say. You lucky son of a bitch.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't say it like that, but I mean, that's the attitude. Like, go find a place.
You know why? Because you're their little boy.
Yeah.
You'll always be their little boy. Just like your sister will always be their little girl.
Before I checked in, I made sure I got high.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm getting high one more
Showed
time.
up high as hell.
Oh, yeah, I showed up and...
Like Jim Carrey.
Yeah, I did.
What's wrong with you? Nothing.
Yeah,
Ace Ventura.
I'm fine.
But they know.
Yeah.
Yeah, they know. They go through all your shit. And...
I had a roommate, and he used to just get up out of nowhere and start fucking cleaning the apartment in rehab. He'd be like, "Hey, there's trash here, there's trash there," just smiling away.
You didn't go to Princeton House, too?
No, I went to Ridgeview.
That was my thing.
Nah, but it was funny because he got kicked out. We finally figured out why he's so happy. Is we used to go take little walks to the woods and, through the campus of Ridgeview. He would take a walk down to the liquor store and get some box wine.
We had a guy come in rehab so drunk, it took him 3 days to get you could smell it coming out of his room. It was so bad. I mean, he hit it hard the night before he went in. And they had him on, I think they had him on 3.5 milligrams of Klonopin. That's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot. I take a quarter of Klonopin as needed,
I used to take 0.5s and that would bring me down quite a bit.
Yeah.
So 3.5 this guy was on, and it's like he was a zombie.
Yeah, but he probably needed because he's probably coming in and going,
oh, he
oh my God, you ever see him just shake? Or you see the people that come into rehab with heroin and are just throwing up for 3 days straight. I'm like, oh my God.
Heroin detox is supposed to be absolutely awful.
Get violently ill, they say.
Yeah, I don't really have experience with it, thankfully.
Yeah.
But I got two kids that, and I'm pretty real with my kids on this stuff. Like I tell my kids this. So your father has an addictive personality. That's kind of where I leave it. They're too young to really know. Your father has an addictive personality. You have alcoholism running rampant throughout your entire family tree. Be careful what you do because it could lead to this. Like I can't have a drink anymore. I know I can't have a drink. I can, but I know it's going to lead down the path.
You ain't going to be able to stop.
Yeah. I'll just keep going because I'm.
Yeah, but I mean, that's where it gets fun.
See, my father used to take me and my brother to New York City all the time. Right? We'd go out to restaurants and everything, but we'd walk up and down the street and he'd just say, "Look at that guy. That's what alcohol will do to you. Look at that guy over there. That's what drugs will do to you."
Talking back to New York City, when I lived in Toms River with my aunt and uncle, I met a friend. She worked at MTV. I ended up moving in with her on 42nd A Street, in the Village.
Yeah.
And I rode the train one time, and I'm like, fuck the train. It was cool, whatever. But I literally walked from 42nd and 8. Oh, no. Where was I at? St. Mark's and 2nd. I'd walk all the way to 42nd, you know, down there in Times Square.
Times Square,
Yeah, but I used to walk from the Village all the way to Times Square, but I'd always stop and get me a bottle of champagne. So I was walking on the street, hey, Justin, everybody's talking my name, and everybody say, why do you walk everywhere? I say, because I want to fucking explore. Like, I remember just meeting random people and going to meatpacking district at, like, Club Quo and just getting smashed. I had so much fun.
Hogs and Heifers, meatpacking district.
Oh, I haven't been there in years, but that was like the hangout in New York, and it was a cool experience. I'm glad I experienced it.
So something must have struck you in rehab for you to want to get into addiction counseling.
Yeah.
What is the draw to addiction counseling? And I know it's common.
I like people.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are scared to get help. So just like, you know, I think it'd be cool, you know, they come out of rehab. I even started a nonprofit called Addicts with Voice. And basically what I want to do is get money, help them get the rehab, help them get therapy, maybe put them in a sober living. I mean, I got 5,000 fentanyl test strips at the house. So when I team up with other people in Atlanta and we do like events, give out food to the homeless, you know, if someone's needing some help, I'm not promoting drug use, but I mean, at least they do it, they could be safe.
Well, that was the big draw when we were kids. If you did a drug, there was very little danger that you were going to die. The fentanyl overdoses are just...
Oh, you get some cocaine when I did it, and it was pure. Now you get it. It's all kind of shit in there.
Right.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Laxatives and baby formula. So, you know, it's funny because I was just in a supermarket with my 14-year-old the other day, and he said, why is the baby formula behind glass?
Yeah.
And I said, well, this is exactly why, because people will take it and use it to cut heroin, and that's... There's two people who steal baby formula, those that are just poor and they can't afford to feed their family, which is very sad. But then there are the addicts who are just looking to cut it and sell it, and so they can have enough.
I watched a friend when I lived in Vegas. I'm not going to say his name, but he did meth here and there. I watched him make something called shake and bake. He'd take battery strips and put this in there and put that in there. And like a 2-liter bottle, he would close it and he would shake it like this and poke a hole in the top. And it just for like an hour. And then it was like that. That's all they did. And it was meth.
They'd inhale it?
No, it was like meth. Then he had to like, I don't know, there's something else he did and kind of come into like a powder. But I'm just like, and then they'd be around the house. Just,
it's aluminum.
Yeah.
Put aluminum. I watched Breaking Bad.
And they call it shake and bake. It was, I just watched the whole process. I'm like, that is crazy.
What about those people like huffing paint?
Oh yeah, they got the socks.
I knew a guy. His dad was a pilot, but he used to huff paint. He actually died from it. He used to put a bag over his head and just.
Yeah, that's the big joke is they come up. They always buy gold or silver.
Yeah, gold or silver, right?
It's always gold or silver paint, and they'll put it over. And
did you ever do Whippets where you crack the CO2 cartridge and?
I worked in the high school, and we used to go into the art department. They had the airbrush cans.
Yeah,
that was better than Whippets.
Yeah, but I mean, it was like a whippet. Your brain for like 30 seconds.
You used to do it, and then you talk like this because it would freeze your vocal cords.
Yeah. That's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very dangerous.
Shout out to Dixie State College.
Freezing your brain's a lot of fun.
I got so drunk. I went to college in St. George, Utah called Dixie State College. I got so drunk at my aunt's house, she dropped me off. It was like 4 buildings. They called it Nissan Towers. I was so drunk right in front of the tower because, you know, it kind of went down a little bit where's the rampway, you know, down the hill. I was so drunk, I went out there. I guess I sat on the fucking side just talking to friends. I woke up, it's like noon, and I'm out there just laying on the concrete, just, how the fuck did I get here? And everybody's walking by just laughing at me, and I pretty much got kicked out of school.
Well, hey, listen.
I got arrested. They got me for voice altering machines because we used to like prank call everybody in town. And, you know, they pick up the phone and be like, hey, how you doing type of shit, you know? Then they got us for explosive devices on campus, which was cherry bombs.
Wow.
So, I mean, it was a whole,
Someone had it out for you.
Yeah, it was like, what's the policeman? And it sounds like he was out for my dad, my uncle, my cousin. So I guess he arrested me, was happy. But I mean, stupid shit. You know, burglatory tools. It was a spark plug because I needed to change the spark plug in my fucking Acura Integra.
Oh, they just threw everything at the wall, tried to get something to stick.
Yeah, and the judge looked at it and he was just like, get out of the court.
But your story is ultra. You didn't give us do you have anywhere we can go where we can check out Addicts with a Voice?
Yeah, go to my Instagram, Addicts with Voice, you know.
Okay.
I also have a website. It's not done, but it's addictswithvoice.org.
Well, we'll put a lower third up because by the time this airs, hopefully that website will be done.
It should be.
Yeah, and then we'll get on that. But your story is incredibly inspiring that you're making a documentary about your life.
Yeah, I met this guy because I went to get a hoodie pressed up. And then I went in there for another hoodie, and he was like, I look at your Instagram. I'd seen some of your story, and he's like, I want to do a documentary about you. He's like, what would you like to call it? And I said, Rehab to the red carpet. Because I thought it fit, because I really went from rehab to the red carpet.
It's an amazing journey you have, and you gave us a clip.
Yeah.
Right? Hey, Andrew, you want to play that clip for us?
It's crazy how life changes before your eyes, especially my eyes. My rock bottom was during cocaine and Adderall. I went to rehab September 25th, 2017, so it was around 2016 to 2017. It really amped up. Last day of rehab, I asked my counselor, I said, what I gotta do so I don't wake up and wanna, hit a line of cocaine or pop an Adderall? He said, you gotta, find a hobby. I want people to see the action, the movement, what's going on. I want to take them to the red carpet. And I just want people to see like what goes on through my eyes, Life and shit, you know what I'm saying? So it's like I come out with a whole different mindset. I don't come out just to take pictures. I come out because I want motherfuckers out there to see what's really going on.
I have been knowing Justin for a little bit of a few years now, about 4 years now, and we're good friends. He do a lot of photography work for the community, and I love how he tells stories through his lenses.
The meaning behind it and convey it in such a way that the power of that photo resonates with so many people. They say a picture's worth 1,000 words. Well, one of Justin's pictures is worth 5,000 words.
I want people to remember he's a dope-ass photographer that got out there, stood up for what he thought was right, and he got out there and made it happen. This is my life. Rehab to the red carpet.
That looks pretty cool.
It looks like a lot of fun.
I'm looking for investors.
All the best with that.
I need investors and sponsors bad.
Well, we got to get this. We got to get our podcast out there, and maybe we could be sponsored the whole thing. So,
that'd be awesome.
One hand washes the other.
No, that'd be awesome.
When you have your red carpet premiere,
yeah,
me and Kevin sitting at a table doing the live podcast.
You know what? I told him I want
guys in.
I told him I want to do a premiere for it. That'd be dope. Yeah, come out there and do a podcast while we do the red carpet. That'd be badass.
That would be cool, wouldn't it?
Why the fuck I didn't think of that a while ago?
Because you're not smart. You're not smart like me.
But that you want to inspire people. You went through a little difficult times.
Yeah.
You had your fun.
I know.
You had your fun.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun.
But you also knew when it was time to stop.
Yeah.
Before it got too bad.
Which is...
I think mine was an addiction, but I think I caught it before I hit the really addiction where things were just going to be like, pah.
Well, I think you got it right before it became so out of control that you weren't going to be able to control it.
That's what I'm saying. I think I caught it right in time.
Yeah, so I'm looking for...
Because if not, I'd probably be sitting there on the side of the street.
Still doing it.
Yeah.
Or dead.
Having fun, but I probably would have been dead from a heart attack.
So is there anywhere we can go or we can send our audience to take a look at this trailer? Is it up anywhere?
Go to my Instagram, Justin Kase photo. And it's the first pinned video on there.
Yeah, I want everybody to go check that out because this is a story. This is not a gloom and doom story.
No, I was just thinking, it's not one of those where we're driving home going like, because our drive home is like all about decompression.
Yeah.
Like, geez, what did we?
But I mean, you talk about
a feel good story.
Yeah, you talk about what happened early childhood. You talk about radio days. You kind of get into a relationship I had just to touch it just a little bit. Because I don't like to talk about that. Then you just lead into, addiction. And then really is focused kind of, how I went from rehab to the red carpet. I want to inspire people because like I said earlier, people are so scared to get help. Like, it's cool to get help. Like, I mean, I really didn't want to get help because I was enjoying myself, but I had to get help.
Yeah, well, you realize it was time to get help, and sometimes people don't realize when it's time to get help.
Yeah, but I mean,
it's too late.
I know life is boring a little bit at times because I'm not high and zooming around, but I mean, a lot of people don't understand that you could go to rehab, you could get your life back together, and my life's like 4 times better than it was before.
But your form of addiction is more palatable to most of the world. I mean, we've had people in here that have lived on the streets in the worst cities in the country where, they were the people that were getting stepped over, sleeping on the streets.
I'm lucky I never went to that.
But your addiction, you got to understand something. Your addiction is more palatable to the rest of the world because it's kind of where your most addicts live.
Yeah.
Just because you're not living on the streets doesn't mean you're not addicted to one thing or another. Some get
Everybody's addicted to something. Masturbation, gambling, shopping.
Yeah, I got to go to rehab for that.
Yeah,
Ah.
definitely not shopping.
But I mean, it's cool though. If you got to go get help, like it's cool, you know?
And there's nothing wrong with it.
There's
Like,
nothing wrong with it. I know it's a scary thing. Like I say, I got high before I went in there.
Somebody asked me, one of the other football coaches asked me, like, how'd you quit drinking? I said, I went to rehab. I had to get naked and bend over and spread my cheeks. That'll fucking sober you up real quick. I said, trust me, stop before you get to that point.
I know you can't drink, but do you ever just sit around and you're having like a fun day and you're like, it'd be so nice just to drink a beer right now?
No, because I remember tomorrow.
Okay.
All right. So I take that lesson from the Atlanta Hawks owner, Jesse Itzler.
Nice.
Jesse Itzler preaches this concept called remember tomorrow. Like, you can do whatever you want to do today,
Yeah.
but you better remember tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I teach this to my kids. You want to go out and get shit-faced drunk, but remember tomorrow when you got to wake up and perform all your other duties and
Right.
go to school and you got
Go
a
to
wicked
work.
hangover. You want to go out and get all banged up on drugs? That's, nobody's really going to stop you if you want to do it.
Yeah.
But you better remember tomorrow, where it's, maybe tomorrow leads into another day of drug use and another day and another day.
Yeah.
So I live by that. It's much the same reason that so I'm gluten-free.
Okay.
Right? And why am I gluten-free? Because it just destroyed my stomach.
Yeah.
Just the worst stomach in the world. So I can eat gluten now, but I better remember tomorrow, and I'm going to pay the price for it. I
Yeah.
can go out and drink right now, just like you can go out and do Adderall and cocaine.
Yeah.
But you remember tomorrow. So if you did Adderall and cocaine, would you be as successful of a photographer? Have that eye, because you think your thought process is clear
Yeah.
under that stuff, but it's really not.
I mean, with photography, I could get a whole lot more shoots done in a day, but I think when it came down to the overall job, it'd probably be poor.
But it's quantity, not quality.
Yeah.
You're producing quality, not quality.
Yeah, because I mean, I could photograph the whole town if I was high. I probably could make $20,000 in a day if I was high. But I mean,
Walking down the streets of Atlanta,
Taking pictures of everybody.
yeah. But I mean, I think the quality would be horrible.
right? So you're a better person because you're sober, and your life
And a better photographer because he's
Yeah.
and your life seems to be going in such a great direction that I cannot, like, you're already there. I've
Yeah,
looked
but
at
I
what
got
you've
a lot of growing. Like you said with the podcast, you got a lot of growing to do. I do too. I don't want to be the best photographer. I just want to be a photographer that everybody remembers, at the end of the day, like he fought with. Because I get out NAACP and get out Al Sharpton and Ben Crump and take pictures, and when they have injustice shooting by the police and stuff like that. And I take pictures, which is hard because you got to pull away the emotions, and the stories you hear are sad. So it's like, I just want people to look at me and be like, he was a dope photographer and he stood up and thought, fought for what was right.
And you did what you believed was right.
Yeah.
So before we are coming to the end of this thing, I want you to throw out all those plugs one more time. Of course, your documentary,
Yeah.
Rehab to the Red Carpet, Justin Kase photo on
Yeah.
Instagram, artistswithvoices.org.
Addictswithvoice.org.
Addicts.
Yeah,
What did
matter
I
of
say,
fact, I don't
artists?
know if you could zoom in, but addictswithvoice.org.
Addict-
You can find me on Instagram, Addicts with Voice. Instagram, Justin Kase photo. So
Yeah, so you're everywhere, and
Yeah.
like I said, check out his Instagram, because first time I saw it, I was like, wow, this is a nice job.
I appreciate it. And thank you for, having me come up from Atlanta to do the podcast.
Oh, we're
Dude,
overly
listen, man.
appreciative.
Number one, I'm excited to be here. But number two, I ain't seen Jersey in a couple years. And Jersey always had a special place in my heart. My dad brought us up here so much when I was younger. I've always had nothing but fun up here.
Well, next time you come up, do not bring this cold weather,
Yeah, exactly.
because we don't even like this cold weather up here.
Sucks.
It's like 11
It was
degrees
like
out right
11 degrees this morning. Went out for a cigarette. Came back out maybe 2-3 hours later. It was 22 and it felt like springtime. I'm like, oh, yeah, I could take off the hoodie and the beanie.
Get down to Atlanta. What's that, Buckhead?
Yeah.
We'll get down to Buckhead. There's a lot of nice
Buckhead used to have a lot of party spots when I was in high school. They had a whole strip of nothing but clubs. We used to go in there. I actually used to go in there. I worked in the mall selling cell phones. I forget the company. It's like Mobile Communications. I sold a sidekick to Mike Vick. He was so cool. I'm like, hey, you dope and this and that. He invited us out to the club. So Mike Vick got it.
Former Eagle.
Yeah, but he got us into this club numerous times. I had so much fun. And I mean, we'd be like, what, 18, fucked up, hanging out with Mike Vick, going back to school. What'd you do last night? Well, you know, I had a basketball game and did this. What'd you do? I went out to the club with Mike Vick. So when I was in high school, I was hanging out at the radio station. I go to the morning show, hang out with Ryan Cameron, you know, Empress Cersei, you know, Kase, like whoever was working at the time. Hang out with them, then I'd get done and I'd go to high school. When I was done with high school, go home, do my homework, I'd go to the Hawks game. That was a fun job. Make them Gatorade, get them towels. Sometime I passed out the paycheck. I did open up one time and I said, damn, $15,000 for this shit? I was like, fuck, that's got to be nice, you know, and they'd autograph your shoes after the game. You know, I'd do like drills, one-on-one basketball. I played one-on-one with Michael Jordan one time, just warming drills. It was such a fun experience.
See, if I had to play one-on-one with Michael Jordan, the only way I'm doing anything is if I kick him in the balls and then go shoot the basket.
Yeah, if there's one thing I regret in life, it's telling this cheerleader Wendy that I wanted to fuck the shit out of her. Because as soon as I said that, I lost my NBA job.
So, like, as I said before, there's two things I want to end with, because as I said before, your form of addiction is kind of where most of the world sits.
Yeah.
You know, it's not, you're not too far over the line, but you're also not clean and sober as well. Being sober for 5 years, as long as you have been, and where the direction of your life right now, what kind of advice would you give somebody who's sort of sitting where you were?
I mean, you got to figure out, you want help, you don't want help. Because either way, you're going to go to jail, you're going to end up in the casket, or you're going to move on and get better in life. One of the three is going to happen. I don't want to end up in a box, you know? So you just have to figure out, like, what you want in life. Like,
or jail, for that matter.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a scary process. Like, you know, I was like, go to rehab. Like, I mean, for me, it was vacation where I was coming from. I really looked at it like vacation. I didn't look at it like rehab. I'm like 90 days away from the house. Fuck yeah. Can I do like 180? You know what I mean? So it's just one of them things that you just have to sit down and think. Even if you feel like you don't got to go, just go check in. Fuck it. Get it over with.
Yeah, it's not as bad, and you know you do get benefits out of it.
I had so much fun in rehab. The girls would come up because we're on the bottom floor, the guys, and the top was the girls, and you know we'd call them and say, "Hey, we going out to smoke a cigarette," and you look up in the window and they're up there, you know, doing this. You know what I mean? So it was I had a lot of fun in rehab, and I learned a lot about myself, what I need and what I don't need.
So my check-in for rehab is in.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. So as I said, we end every show the same way. You know, if you've gone through this life, and you've gone through your addictions and you've suffered a little bit with your addictions, and if it hasn't taught you anything, then it's a really wasted experience.
Yeah.
What do you think your suffering has taught you?
I don't want to go back to where I was. It taught me that I could have died from a heart attack, you know? Wasted a lot of valuable time while having fun. I don't know.
I think you're in a much better place right now.
Yeah, no. That's what I'm saying. That's what fuels me is I don't want to go back to where I was.
And I hope you never do. And if you ever do, ever plan on doing that, give me a call first.
Yeah, there's a misconception too, because there's a lot of people out there, you know what I'm talking about, who's recovering addicts. They say, well, you almost killed yourself, or I did this, or I did that. My addiction's worse than yours. It doesn't matter. Addiction's an addiction. It don't matter if you didn't fall out, whatever, you having fun. Addiction's addiction.
We learn all the time not to fight, especially on this show. We do not fight for trauma trophies.
That's the way to put it. Like, it doesn't matter who has the most glorious story. Like, we are addicted to some shit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Justin, I cannot thank you enough for coming all this way, sitting down with us. You have an amazing story. I know your documentary is going to make it.
Oh yeah.
And I know you're just going to keep going with your photographs.
And I know we're making it for the premiere.
And you guys are going to do a podcast.
We're going to do a podcast.
The movie's going to be going in the background, and you guys are going to be over here interviewing, you know, all the people coming through.
We're going to do your voiceover for the opening and closing.
Fuck it, let's do it. But I want to say thank you so much for having me come. This is a lot of fun. I love the podcast. I've listened to your stuff, and you guys are doing an amazing job. Keep going.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Anytime.
It means a lot coming from you. And that's going to do it for this episode of the Suffering Podcast, the suffering of rehab to the red carpet with Justin Kase. And let's think about all the stuff that we learned. Addiction makes you feel like you're nothing without it. Wake up and find a reason not to get high. Get into your groove and anxiety disappears. But most importantly, don't be scared to get help.
True. You can't be.
And that's going to do it for this episode. Don't forget to follow us on all social media. That's LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Clapper,
OnlyFans.
Right.
Follow Mike at Mike_Failace. Follow me at Real Kevin Donaldson. And, of course, follow the Suffering Podcast. And we're going to see you on the next episode.